welcome to my YouTube channel, JK All Day Excelling, where I just throw everything I've ever done in my life into an Excel sheet and hopefully provide you pretty views that you normally wouldn't see on a YouTube channel while learning nerdy accounting things, right? So, today is the audit trail importance. You'll know that, or you'll find that every system you use, even the internet, everything we do is tracked and traced. It doesn't matter. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into the spreadsheet here. So let's go ahead and pull it up.
Okay, so you will see on the first tab, we are on our General Audit Log tab on the Audit Trail Important Sheet located in the Dropbox. So this is just so you can get an idea of the various forms of audit trails there are. There is a set list of what was done and how it was done in every operating system you have. So we have our entry ID. This is just the number of entries that have been changed, the date that it was done, the user, what department they were in, the action that was done, the system it was done in, the reason it was done, the original value, what it was changed to, why it was changed, because you also have to have a checks and balances system. That's the approved by here. Who's approving it? And then we're going to scroll all the way over here and we're going to look at the risk. You can see here, updated client invoice from 1200 to 1300. This was a medium risk. This is a medium risk due to improper pricing. It affects sales, right? Modified user permissions, read only to read and write. This means this user was able to change things for project requirements. This is high because it's giving them extra access. So that's just a brief of what different things can be audited. Honestly, every change should capture who made it, what was changed, when it occurred, and why. According to SOX Section 404, public companies must maintain audit trails for 7 years minimum. The average cost of compliance failure is $14.82 million. Risk levels help prioritize review. High-risk items require immediate supervision attention. So in the audit, you're able to catch offages. In a reconciliation, you catch offages. It's best to be running daily reconciliations, which I didn't mention in the last video, but checking the balance versus what's in the books daily will help you catch any theft, help you catch any mischarges, vendor overcharging. You'll catch it. But if you're also checking your audit logs and numbers and running against what should be and what is actual, you'll be able to stop a lot of mishaps from happening just due to people know you're watching. Let's go to the transactions. So here you can see a transactions ID, the external ID, the customer that paid, the platform they paid on, the platform date, which I will change that real fast. Short date. The gross amount it was changed, the fee it was charged, because everything has fees. And this is your net expected because it's subtracted the fees. What account it's going in. Let me do this here as well. Short date. And then what hit the bank account. What batch it came in, and then was it recorded? So you can see here, this one was not recorded into the system. Everything else was recorded. All of that affects a P&L. This is why it's super important that you make sure that it's hitting your bank account, right? So here we have unmatched. There's a $15 variance. This is unmatched. There's a $25 variance. This doesn't exist. And this is unmatched. There's a $30 variance. So they recorded 1,000, but they were only supposed to get, the bank got 970. They didn't record anything. The bank amount was 250. And here they recorded 425 and it should have been deducted with the fees. So it can be recorded at 425. That's when the bookkeeper goes in or the accountant goes in and does a journal entry to deduct the surcharge fees for the software. Let's go to our employee changes. Now I will have a section on HR and payroll because they go together and it's under the accounting umbrella. So with audits, you need to keep, obviously for numbers, accounting 7 years flat. But when you are dealing with people, those need to be recorded as well. Every change you do to a person has to have a trail. Every disciplinary action, every award they get, you have to document it. The audit trail. So under GDPR and CCPA, employee changes must be logged and retained. The IRS requires payroll records for at least 4 years. Tracking changed by creates accountability and prevents unauthorized modifications. 73% of internal fraud involves payroll manipulation. Okay, and I'm pretty sure the other 27% of that is like a bookkeeper getting a false invoice and paying it out without doing her research. A bookkeeper or an accountant thinking that they can play Robin Hood and be a thief, right? Um, any of those things would do it. So we want to keep an audit log. We don't want to steal from people. We want to treat our employees properly and have a digital trail for it all. You can see here our employee ID, the name, the field, old value, what they're changing it to, who it was changed by, the date it was changed on, and then the reason. And like I said, we'll get more into HR in future videos when I go over HR things. So here's your payroll log. So we have our pay periods, right? This is everybody that got things done to them. So your payroll audit essentials. The FLSA requires 3 years of payroll records. All payroll changes should require dual approval to prevent ghost employee fraud. The median loss from payroll fraud is $62,050 per incident. Pending status items should be reviewed within 48 hours. And so I want to dive into this ghost employee fraud and as to why it needs dual approval. So my mom does taxes and she has for the last, literally since before I was born, so 30 plus years. And for the first time ever, she came across this year a W 2 that was issued to a person that had never worked at that company. She had wages of $150,000 written out to her with Social Security taxes that she supposedly paid. So when my mom went to go do the tax return, it kicked back saying that the girl had missing wages that the government had. Whoever was in that HR department cut this girl a check while having her Social Security, her ID, and all of these things without ever knowing her. And this was done in 2000, like she hadn't lived in this state since 2014. The W 2 was issued in 2023. There was no reason for her to even be on there. And then you also find things in the government with what Doge did when they were cleaning out all those empty Social Security numbers on for people that were collecting checks that were dead. That's what this helps prevent. So you do need two people looking at pay. There should not just be one person staring at pay. Like there's got to be a checks and balances. You can see their type of pay, the original amount, the updated amount, who it was changed by, and then the two authorization checks and balances pending approval. And then let's go to system access. Who can do what and why was it granted? So here's our user, here's our system, here's the access level, who it was granted by. You'll see here the principle of least privilege reduces breach impact by 80%. SOC 2 requires quarterly access reviews. Admin access should be limited to less than 5% of users. 61% of data breaches involve credential misuse. Always document who does what and where. So, for me, especially, I will not operate under somebody else's number. If you have trained me in your office, you've already seen me, I make it a point to get my own number. That way, if I mess anything up, that's on me, that's not on you. You need to divvy up responsibilities because of checks and balances. You need to know who has access to what at all times. Ultimately, this is the business owner's dollar. You are granting everybody else access to manage your business for you. So just organize as you should and delegate out properly. And then we have our exemption log. So this is what critical severity items should trigger immediate notification to management. Average time to detect fraud is 12 months without proper exemption tracking. Segregation of duties violations of the number one control weakness. Unresolved exemptions should be escalated after 5 business days. So if you should not have one person doing everything, it's hard for them to look at everything. Especially if you're dealing with large amounts of money. You can speed up processes, you can have skill, you can do all that, but if you are looking at too much, your eyes go crossed. Too much data sometimes is not the best. Too much information overloads our brain. So, your exemption log, we have our date, we have the issue, we have the description, we have the severity level, and then we do have if it's solved. So segregation issue. Same user created an approved vendor. Critical and it was escalated. Let's talk about it. So when the same user creates and approves a vendor to get paid, that's like, and you don't have a second set of eyes on it. If you don't have somebody looking at that checks and balances system, you could have just allowed someone to create a vendor that's themselves and issue them a check if they have that level. So it's very important that you are reviewing what access your employees have, what can they see, what are they able to do, and the level of transparency they give you, the level of trust they give you. We like honest people working for us, right? So that is our audit sheet. Let's go back to the main page and let's show you some scenes real quick of some landscapes.
If you stuck around this long and you made it to the end of the video, congrats to you, because audit trails are tedious, meticulous, but so necessary. You'll find there everything is traced. Everything you do is traced. Use your username. Just don't operate in the dark and you won't have to worry about being caught, right? So here's a little tidbit where I am. I am currently in Arkansas. This is Petite Jean, the landing. I am on top of a rock filming this YouTube video. So we have that. I did want to give you guys like a quick pan around because I ventured around the park a little bit. I saw some caves and stuff, but honestly, this is the most spectacular view. I did take a break from the beach